Take two.
We're back. Some technical difficulties on my end because Optimum is a big, just trash can suck dick of a company. Suddenly, Optimum, they're all the same. They're all stinky. And so I just cannot wait until I can get AT&T fiber hooked up in this house because lately, the past week, usually I have zero issues with my internet. No issues whatsoever. Nothing. And the past week, it's been spotty. It's been messing up. Like, it wouldn't let me connect to watch the game on Wednesday. I had to go do it in another room. It was not working at all. So it's been weird. So I'm on a hotspot right now connected to my computer so that we can finish this and get it rolling. But so if you're watching this is the continuation of our last episode that's on there called SFA versus Tarleton and UTA. This is the continuation of it because my internet is a big old trash can. So, Jacqueline, where were we?
So we were on the second game that we're covering in this episode, which is UTA, and I think maybe we're just a little bit into the stats whenever we got cut off. So I'll just restart on that very quickly. Our field goal our Sean Kennedy stat section, our field goal percentage 36.9 overall. I already told y'all how I felt about that. Our 3-point percentage was 30%. Our free throw percentage was 64, which is also not great, but not terrible. We did better on points in the paint this game with 34. We had 28 points off turnovers. We had 12 second chance points. We had 21 fast break points, 23 bench points. Again, we had a pretty good rebounding game with 35. And what I think was notable this game is usually our offensive boards get better internet, Alex. Hey, Rev. Usually our offensive boards are single digit, and this game we had 17 offensive boards and 18 defensive boards. And I do like to see it more evenly split because let's be real, the offensive boards are going to give us a better chance because that gives us some sort of opportunity at a second chance point or getting fouled. So
yeah.
I'd rather have more offensive boards than what we normally have. Anyway. 17 fouls. We only had 9 turnovers. I literally put WUT. What? Only 9? And
it felt like we had way more than that. Let's just be honest.
I don't know how that happened. They had 20. It's like I said, we literally, we beat them in almost every stat line. We just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with our shooting.
I love that saying. I love that saying so much.
My mom always says that, and I think it's funny.
It's so funny. I mean, the game isn't funny, but that saying is funny.
We just weren't hitting anything.
Nothing. And they were hitting it all, baby.
We had 7 steals and 3 blocks. So our game leaders, the high point was AJ with 14 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. But right behind him, we had Day with a double-double, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. We had Trell and Nigel both with 12 points. Trell also had 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals. He played a great game. And Nigel had 6 rebounds and an assist along with his points. So, I mean, all 4 of them played a really great game considering.
And that's the craziest part to me is the fact that we had multiple players in double digits, and we still couldn't get the W. It's just wild to me, but I digress. Couldn't hit nothing, man. They were okay. I'll wait. I'm gonna wait because I'm jumping ahead here. All right, let's go in. Oh wait, player of the game. Sorry.
I don't remember who they named the Pilgrim's Pride player of the game, but I said Day. That double-double was – anytime he has a double-double, I'm probably going to defer to him unless someone just really scores a lot more.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I only put on there Juice because with his 14 points and being high point, but he played really well as well. played great as well. Yeah. Anyway, this game. Anyway, okay, let's go into the strengths first. What maybe little of them were. But again, based off of these statistics, like the only anyway, couldn't hit nothing. That was the main thing. But I mean, honestly, we had so many guys in double digits. It's just shocking to me. We had, like you said, 17 offensive rebounds and 18. I don't remember a game where we had that many offensive rebounds.
No, that's probably, I don't think on the stats they break it up by, they only do like overall rebounds. They don't break it up into offensive and defensive, but I guarantee you that's the most offensive boards we've had all season.
I mean, that's just, insane. I mean, Day, like you said, that was his fifth double-double. Fifth double-double. Just nuts there with his double-doubles. I mean, I'm trying to pick and find the good. Other than we had multiple players in double digits, both Trell and Nigel with 12. Trell had 4 steals, 4 assists. Nigel was 4 rebounds short of a double-double. Those guys played great, man. They played great. They put their heart and soul into this game and just came up short.
Our top 4 guys on the scoring there played great games. I want to say AJ had 2 really nice threes, and he also had 2 really good charges. He played a great game. I mean, Day I already talked about. He played great. Matt had a few great little shots and a charge. He was 2 of 4 from the floor and 2 of 4 on free throws. Robbie had some great effort on defense. I mean, we always know what to expect when Robbie's out there. But it's nice to see, especially in games like this where we're just struggling. We did play some great D the first half. I will actually say we did for some period of time, not the whole time, but and Nigel had a really great drive just right down the lane for a like monster dunk, one-handed slam. That was great.
It's just hard to talk about losses and pick out the pot. There are some positives, but it's just hard whenever you build this game up in your head or whatever it may be, and you plan an event and you have all these people in the stands, and then you walk away with an L. It's rough. It's rough. It really is. Anything else positive wise before we get into the negatives?
Actually, I do have one. It's not game related, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that during this game on Saturday, listen, y'all don't get mad at me. I've been dying for a week. I just don't remember all of them, but we inducted 4 people into the SFA Hall of Fame over the weekend. One was a runner, can't remember her name, who had a bunch of accolades. One was a volleyball player who had a bunch of accolades. One was a women's basketball player from, I think, the 80s who, I mean, she had all these insane stats they were dropping.
Insane stats. Yeah.
I mean, it was wild. I can't even remember. Yeah. That was so good. But I was dying and standing the whole game. But personally, most importantly for me, Coach Mac, as I affectionately call him, Steve McCarty, who used to be our AD for many years, and my family's been close to him for a long time. He got inducted, so that was really sweet. I could tell it really meant a lot to him too, because I got up and went down there to give him, a little hug, and he was all like teary-eyed.
Oh, such a sweet little old man, and he's funny to boot. He's such a sweet guy. Congrats to all of those inductees for sure. Good job adding that to the strengths. Only other strength I would say is that it was well-attended game. Not so much by the students, but I digress. But it was a well-attended game. We had good support in the stands, and people were fired up and ready to go. And it just obviously didn't turn out in our favor. But yeah. All right, moving on.
Begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it. You.
Where to begin?
Again, this game, we just had some really bad passes into Nana, and I hate that because, like we've said before, he's really improved a lot. So I hate that because I want us to be giving him the best opportunity to excel. And if you give him some shitty passes down there, what do you expect? And we have one actual intended post player. So like, let's work on giving him a good pass. Otherwise the points in the paint aren't going to be there.
Yep.
We can't just rely on Day because Day's not technically really who we would be running in a post position. He'd be playing a power forward, and it's great that he has the range to go down there and try to post up, but we don't necessarily want him to have to do that all the time. And if you give Nana a good pass, I feel confident that he can get us some points in the paint, but you got to give him a good pass.
Yeah. And we've seen him give us points in the paint, like glimpses of it, but you're so right. I mean, it's impossible for him to, make a decent play on the ball when the passes are at his ankles or they're over, they're too far left or too far right. Like, yeah, he's a tall guy, but he's not that tall. I mean,
right.
Goodness gracious. But there was one thing I literally just remembered something I was going to mention in the positives. And the main one was our personal fouls. They had more personal fouls than we did. We had 24, or they had 24 and we had 17. And of course the turnovers, I mean, they had 20 and we had 9. Again, I'm just shocked at the turnovers and the personal fouls. The fact that we had less of both and we still lost. That's a grievance for me. I'm grieving on that. How I just don't get it. How we couldn't hit anything. I don't understand it. Nothing, man. I mean, the normal guys who normally hit stuff just weren't hitting anything beyond. They were just, the other UTA was just on fire behind the arc. I mean, it was nuts. Just very, very, very discouraging. Watching all of their balls go in and then us just completely not getting anything. It was just wild.
Really struggling.
I mean, yeah, you got Trell 2 for 7 from the 3, AJ 2 for 7 from 3, Rati 0 and 1, Kyle 0 and 1, Nigel 2 and 4. He's the only one that had a decent 3-point percentage that game, 50%, but still something. Free throws, we had AJ at 100%, Trell at 100%. And also Derek at 100%. Everybody else missed free throws. I mean, Nana was 4 to 7. You don't normally see that from Nana either.
I know.
Normally Nana's making those. So it's just very frustrating. I mean, our points in the paint were back up where we normally are in the 30s, but still, I don't get it, man. Don't get it. Very frustrating game. Very, very frustrating game. Go ahead. I can't get my thoughts together. I'm just reliving this game in my head.
On defense, I have a couple of grievances. So that was an offensive one, but there were several times we just let them drive right down the lane. Obviously, we let them have too many threes. We've talked about that, which is hard. Again, we've said it a million times. It's hard to not have backdoors or to have threes like on the offside on the baseline whenever we overplay on defense the way that we do. But the offside man just has to be, you got to really be paying attention and not get too far off so that you can help. But anyway, we let them have a backdoor dunk. There was one where, oh my God, it was literally like a half court pass down for an alley dunk. It was just the sickest thing I've ever seen, and I was so mad. So that sucks. I will say whenever Nigel and that guy like collided, and and they kind of stopped the game. And then, there in person, we finally realized that the kid was bleeding. Whenever I watched it back on TV, wow, was he bleeding like a lot worse than I noticed in person. Like
Yeah.
I didn't watch it back because I didn't have time to try to dissect it. But I still can't figure out what hit him or what part of Nigel's body hit him when they collided. But he was bleeding from like here to here. Like he was bleeding a lot.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't notice that much blood either. So that's interesting that you brought that up, because when we saw the play, we just couldn't believe that they were even considering calling a foul on Nigel, because it was like, are you kidding me? Like, if anything, just let it go, because they were both fighting for the ball. Like,
yeah, on TV, like as soon as it happened, before he even got up, like it zoomed in, and I was like, holy shit, he's like bleeding a lot. Like there was a lot of blood. It was a large
gash.
Yeah. So
that's crazy. Yeah. I would say also, this isn't basketball game related. This is more on it was very frustrating for me to see such a well-attended game from the community and then look over and see like barely any students in the student section. I know a lot of them don't sit over there, which again, riddle me this, I don't get, but it was just a weird when we're playing a game, it's at 2:00 on a Saturday. Like what are you doing at 2:00 on a Saturday? It's very confusing to me. Like, it's a 2-hour game. You'll literally be done by 4:30 at the most. Like, you can drink at the game. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many students I ran into that game had zero idea that they could drink at the games. What do I need to do? What do we need to do to tell these students, like, if you're 21, you can drink at these games. Like, if you're like, oh, but I want to go drink beer. Cool. Come drink beer at the games. It's $3 for half the game, you dum-dums.
Yeah.
Tell me you can get a $3 beer in Nacogdoches.
I just don't know what rock you would be hiding under at this point to not know that you can drink at the game.
But these students don't know. Like, I literally talked to 4 students that came to the darn tailgate, and none of them knew. Well, they just don't pay attention to social media. They don't give a shit. 0 fucks.
That's mind-boggling.
It's mind-boggling, but that's just the generation that we're in. That's just the generation that they're in. And you see that when we do these big, like, 5 students have a chance at $5,000 half court shot, man, they show up for that because there's potential for them to win a shit ton of money. But that's the only time they'll show up. So short of us giving away $5,000 at every game, there's not much we can do, which is unfortunate. That's just the type of student we have in this time, in this generation, and at the school. And it's just wild. But anyway, so that's my grievance. That's my big grievance there. Also, another thing too, if you're going to, no, I'll save that for later. I don't want to be a total bitch tonight. Let me just reel it in. And then I'll stop. Big shout out to everyone who, again, bought tickets for the Heckler Hayes section. We appreciate it. Could have used a little bit more people over there for sure, for more yelling and more cheering. I wish more people would have sat with us, but again, I digress. What are you gonna do? You can't force people to sit where they don't want to sit. I'm just saying, if Jacqueline and I can give up our normal every game seats for 2 hours for a game, you can too. But again, I digress. Any other game related grievances?
No.
Other than the fact that we lost.
Yeah, and then I felt like garbage. No, that's it.
You felt like garbage. We lost the game. I'm pretty sure I probably drank too much. That's my own fault. But it was Purple Lights, so it wasn't like anything crazy. Last Purple Haze Heckler reunion, I was very drunk.
This one,
huh?
You were much more turned up last year.
Oh, way more turned up last year. This year was a little bit more chill. Don't know why, but it just was. Anyway, all right. One word to describe the game. What do you got?
I think I've already said this before, but I'm phoning it in. So I said threes.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a great word. I just put deflated because I feel like at the towards the end of the game, we knew we weren't gonna win. They just almost felt like they just kind of gave up trying. Kind of felt a little deflated and defeated. And so that was my word. We felt deflated in the stands. You know, there's only so much we can do to cheer on the team. I mean, I basically lost my voice screaming defense every freaking possession. You know, it's hard when you're cheering so hard for your team and then no one else is cheering with you. Like it's hard. Not saying the people with us weren't cheering, it's just the people in the stands. I'm like, literally, it takes little effort to none to just say defense or to clap. Like, so just the whole stadium, it felt very deflated and defeated. So that was my word. Stunk. I wish it would have been better for those who came in. This was like their first game of the year kind of a thing. But yeah, what are you going to do? Moving on to greener pastures, because the next game we'll talk about is the ACU game. We traveled to ACU, not we, this team traveled to ACU and had a better turnaround and a better showing. That game, it was a crazy game. It was a nuts game. We'll be talking about that tomorrow, maybe afternoonish. Have to decide what time we're going to start that recording and that podcast. But yeah, that'll be a lot easier of a game to discuss for sure.
And just for a little teaser, I have so many good little one-liners from Rob on that game. Like I can't even tell it because I can't even talk. Literally, my brain is so mushy. This game from Wednesday night was probably the day I was feeling the sickest, and so I watched it from bed, but I did listen to Rob on my phone while I was watching it, and he said so many funny things. And I normally don't do any notes during the game, but when I watched it the first time, but the only notes I took down were from Rob, and I have probably 6 or 7 things he said that literally had me laughing so hard, even though I felt
that.
So get ready. I got some good ones.
I love that. I really do. I'm excited to hear those. There were a couple bangers from the broadcasting duo at ACU too that I just can't wait to share.
Okay.
Can't wait to. Yeah.
When I rewatch it.
They're ridiculous. What?
I said I'm gonna listen whenever I rewatch it, so we'll see if we have the same ones.
Oh, I'm sure it'll stick out to you. They will. They will. But yeah, so we're excited for that. And then of course on Sunday is our Sunday Fun Day tailgate, getting everybody ready and prepared for the 6 p.m. tip-off versus CBU. That'll be nationally televised on ESPNU. It's not often that we get nationally televised games. So let's enjoy it and let's show out, people. I don't know what we have to do to convince you to come to this game, to come tailgate with us prior. It's open to everybody, students, alumni, friends, I don't care, faculty, staff, your mama's sister's boyfriend's cousin. I don't really give a shit. I don't care. Just get your ass to the game because it's $5 tickets again. $5. Cram the Coliseum. Name something else you can do in this town for entertainment value like that for $5. Even going and watching a movie at our little small town movie theater, going to cost more than $5. So come to the game, bring your family, wear purple or white. White is fine because they're giving out white t-shirts on Sunday. The first, hold on. I literally just shared it.
I think it's
3,000 fans. The first 3,000 fans get a free SFA t-shirt and it's white. So I think
have they shared a picture of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that post. I just saw him saying about it. I didn't see the picture. What?
2 hours ago, they posted a little video of the white jersey in the locker and then a white shirt in the locker. So I'm assuming that's the shirt they're giving away. I just shared it a couple of times. So tickets are $5. 6:00, ESPNU. Come tailgate with us in the parking lot. Free food for the first 50 to 60 people. Free beer, free drinks, swag, tailgate games. Come hang out. Bring your coolers. We're starting at noon-ish. Get your asses out there. Come hang out with us. Come pregame with us. And then we're going to go inside at around 5:30, 5:45 and cheer on our Jacks to a victory at home. It is one of the last home games of the season.
Yeah, next to last.
Exactly. So come out. I mean, go to church. Here's your Sunday plan. I'll give it to you. Ready? It's not hard. Go to church. Church is done by noon, 1:00-ish. Go home. Put on your purple. Come to tailgate. Go to the game. And then you're done. Day's over by 8:30. Go home. Have a late dinner. Go to bed. Like, it's not hard. If I hear one person complain, be like, well, I have church on Sunday. The game's not at noon. The game's not at 1. The game's not at 2. It's not even at 3 or 4. It's at freaking 6:00. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So come out to the game. Don't let anybody stop you. Wear your white, wear your purple, and be there. Or I will hunt you down like a dog. No, I'm just kidding. I wanted to do the quote from Taken, the Liam Neeson quote. I have a particular set of skills. I don't know the whole quote. But anyway, so come hang out with us on Sunday. That's all you got to do. Jacqueline and I will be there. Ready to go. Ready to party. Ready to cheer on the Jacks. And we'll be back in our normal seats. So, anything else? Did I miss anything?
No, I think that's cool.
Great.
Wrap it all up.
Buckle up, baby. The last few games of the season, let's get it going. This game on Sunday, Sam Houston, last home game versus Sam Houston in the foreseeable future is next week. And then our last game of the regular season is away in Orem versus the number 1 team in the league, Utah Valley. So that'll be great.
Yeah.
Yay. All right, guys. Hope you have a great week. Have a good weekend. We will see you on Sunday at the game, at the tailgate, in the parking lot. Look for tents. You can't miss us. And we will see you then. All right. Follow us on all the social medias so that you get reminders. Put it in your calendar. And we will see you then. No excuses. Hope you have a great night. And as always, Axe and Jacks.
With Alex and Jax.